Hello, it's me, Mayo Hosko, coming to you at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg, and welcome to my channel. Hello everybody, I'm back with another little pop-up stream because we've got some IKEA furniture to build, and so we're just gonna wait until there's a few people here, and then I'm gonna open the flat pack that has it. Yeah, so I hope everyone's having a good day today, because I woke up later than what I thought I was going to. And when I saw that someone was not streaming because they were in the hospital, I decided to do a pop-up stream. So here we got in the chat right now, we got Dusty and Johnny and T-Mog. Hello. Long time no see, T-Mog. Okay. So I'm charging my phone right now, and I'm also charging my Mac. So I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move some of the stuff that's on top of my drawer unit so that I can put my computer there. You know what? I'm going to move the stuff that was on top of my side table and put it on top of my bed, on top of the bed head. Cliff is in the hospital right now. He goes in and out of the hospital because of his chronic injuries. And also Buttchop is he has sore ribs, and they're causing him troubles breathing, so he might, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he might end up in the hospital for all I know. Because I'll tell you what, years ago I had really bad problems with my back, and eventually my back seized up and I couldn't move. So that day when my back seized up, my parents immediately drove me to a physiotherapist, and they had availability right now. So they put me onto the physio table, they put clamps on my back, they rubbed cream on my back, they gave me a small little exercise routine, and that's why when I'm just standing around, sometimes I'll bend my back backwards to help out, not let my back seize up anymore. And I found ways to deal with my injuries where I've neutralized their impacts, and I can do that because I'm only 24. Other people who are 1.5 or double or triple my age, they can't do that as easily. So we're sending our thoughts and prayers for everyone in the Lego community that is potentially dealing with an injury right now. Anyway, that's what the first IKEA of the bully bookcase looks like, and we're going to build a second one. We're going to build a second one to increase the amount of storage in here. So there's stuff that was in the way that I had to do some rearranging of the deck chairs on the Titanic to move it out of my room. And because I'm home alone for most of the day, my parents don't care that I am rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. And if anything, they've actually encouraged me. So not only did they sacrifice the garage for my Lego collection, but they also sacrificed some of the dining room and the lounge room for me to spread my shit all over the place, to encourage me to clean my various collections. So I'm glad, unlike some people who I talk to every month, that I actually have parents who love me. Unfortunately, not everyone can say that. So what's everyone saying? Well, for me, 12 p.m. will be in less than 3.5 hours. I think it's just something people do, including me, when they want to build up the tension to the start of a stream. Exactly, it can, because the oldest dark joke in the book is if you stop breathing, you can fall asleep forever. Yes, we are going to be building IKEA furniture, a Billy bookcase. Hello, Owen. Good to see you here, buddy. And you know what, Owen? Because you have access to my StreamYard account, you can pop into any of my streams whenever you want to, if you think about it. Not only in the chat, but on the panel as well, if you're bored or whatever. But as I'm going to do with with all my pop-up streams this month, I'm doing odd jobs with my Lego collection, and just take time to interact with the chat while I do so. And also, I'm sipping on Orange Crush right now. Hey, Butt Chop. Well, that's not entirely correct. Okay. This is so heavy. Ugh. Actually, I need to angle this down so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm not sure what that reference is. Well, you have access to my StreamYard account, so yes. There's the case. I'm gonna put my water bottle next to my other case. Just saw something. Oh yeah, sorry. That was just a glitch. So this is the case. It's in flat pack packaging. And I've got stuff all over the place that might get in my way. Hey, Owen.
Hello. thought I would just pop in and share some of my ideas for my Lego city.
Yeah, and you might want to talk in between when I'm doing ASMR. Otherwise, the viewers won't hear you properly.
Yeah, no worries. Butterchop said he is forcing us to watch him vandalize his own property.
These are the types of cardboard boxes that I can't get where you sell them.
Yeah, so I haven't got my camera on for the simple reason I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, because you're doing a stream after this, aren't you?
Yeah. Building a laboratory base. It's going to be Alien Conquest. It's going to be an Alien Conquest mock.
Nice. And now that we're at the front of the box, let me see what people were saying. Yeah, we are building on the floor. We didn't do that. Yes, he is.
Yes, I am. I am the man.
Yeah, it was a massive overreaction, and we're gonna forget about it. So don't talk about it anymore. Hey, Zelda.
Don't mind me asking, what was the issue?
We don't need to talk about it.
Okay.
And if anyone does bring it up again, we're gonna put people in timeout.
Paradisa, Paradisa, sun is shining all day.
Yeah, so I just bought myself some new drawers.
Nice.
Ones that don't have as much space.
Quarter brick. Whenever someone comes into the chat and says yo, that's what we do.
Yeah, so basically, everybody that's wondering, I am working on my Ancient Conquest City mock. And it's all going to be mocks, except from a couple of the spaceships and stuff like that, the minifigures. They're all going to be, obviously, the official Alien Conquest brand.
Well, if you want to go back and screen record me saying that, you can do that if you want to. Normally, when Cliff goes into people's live streams, he also says yo. So that's where I got that idea from.
So, Mayo, basically, I'm working on the base plate.
Yeah.
Right now, so I don't have to do it on stream because I'm using a lot of different sized plates and it's going to be awkward doing that on stream.
It would be.
Yes, because a lot of it wouldn't be on camera because I'm sat there clipping it together. So it's better having it all pre-prepared, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, let me change this. There we go. I bet you did, Chopper. What do you want? Do you want me to play Paradiso again?
Paradisa, Paradisa, sun is shining all day.
Also, I got myself a new thing. So, and hello, Britain Bricks. Good to see you again, buddy.
Oh, hello, Britain Bricks.
Yeah. So, so when, what was I going to say? I'm out of breath. You say something. I'm trying to think of what I was going to say.
Got the dirt on that plate.
Do you have nothing to say?
Mayo, just give me a second. I need to go and get a brush because my little Lego brush because I have a little bit of dirt on one of my plates and I don't want there to be. So I'm just gonna clean it.
Yeah, I sometimes use a toothbrush.
Yeah, I've got I bought a actual brush that's meant for cleaning Lego off Amazon. You get 10 of them for 12 British pounds.
Okay. Gonna put the instructions on top of one of my toys.
Actually, I have one right here. That's fine.
I need to go and get the power drill from the garage.
That's fine.
I have the power! Okay, we got the
That's
power.
funny.
We're getting out the power. We're getting out the power tools today because I'm a powerful tool. Oh, okay. So we got this one last thing, and this is the side of the case.
What is it you're building?
It's a Billy bookcase from IKEA.
Oh, nice. Are you going to use it for books or to display Lego?
Some of the shelves I use for books, some of the shelves I use for storing my trains.
Oh, nice. I'm just sat here drinking my coffee.
And I'm drinking my orange crushing water. Yeah, so that's the box.
Because obviously it's 12 a.m., so I need a caffeine boost.
Yeah, it's after midnight in the UK. And there's...
It definitely is difficult streaming at 2 a.m. But I'm going to do it because there's a lot more American viewers than there is British viewers.
Exactly. And I think, yeah, this is for the back. See, I try to stream at convenient times for Americans because North America is where the majority of my viewership is. Except for this time of the day, I get some Australians that come through, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a British viewer except from silent mode.
If I stream just before Well, if I stream at the end of Twilight, sometimes I get my British friends who wake up. Yes, it is very thoughtful because I want to make all of my uploads as convenient for where the majority of the eyeballs are. I'm not sure if I have any subscribers from Italy. I know that Chip of the Old Block Toys has a subscriber called the Italian Gamer. Now, if he puts a poll up and you ignore, then yeah, we're not doing polls right now. If I had something really urgent, I would do it, but I don't need to. Were you sending off something for your Bricklink store, T-Mog? I'm not sure if I have that kind of door money, but I do have shelf money.
Just looking for a couple of my blasters for my new minifigures that I got today. Just looking for a
Nice.
couple of blasters and X-ray guns.
Yeah. I don't see the chats through YouTube. I see the chats through StreamYard. But if anyone watching, but everyone else watching should set their messages from top chat to all chat. That's very funny, Dusty. I like that. Let me do this. And also, yeah, that actually reminded me with some of the people talking about where they live in this world. Any time we get into talking about the geography of my viewers or anything about geography, now we got this cutaway. The Rational Geographic. It's not the Grim Reaper. It's my channel logo. It's the 2D map and the Lego logo with the text next to it. Something about how I like to build mocks. I forget. I edited it an hour ago. I would not like to drink that. That's very true. That's very true.
Vegemite milkshakes.
I am trying to read the funny stuff. Exactly. Thank you for thinking about us, Chopper, and we think about you too. Well, normally I don't have enough people in my chat that wants a poll to begin with. Yeah, I hope you're having some good sales in your store right now. Who knows? Maybe there's some people making a pair of, what's the shoe called? Clogs, is it? Clogs is the shoe. Okay. Yeah. So there's
If
my
you're
meter.
interested on this information, X Knight is selling his collection on Bricklink for an extraordinary price.
Is he trying to get out of the Lego hobby?
No. So basically what he's doing is, as soon as he gets all the money, he thinks somebody's going to buy his whole collection. And as soon as he gets enough money, he's going to buy sets and then sell them. And then buy some more and sell them.
Yeah, that was at the end of the Tuesday stream.
Yeah.
I did a MILF tier list. But someone would not want to sell. Well, someone would not have the goal of trying to sell their entire collection if they weren't trying to get out of the Lego hobby. That doesn't make sense to me. And if someone is trying to get out of the Lego hobby, then I don't need to watch them, because I want to watch people for the next 10 years, not the next 2 years.
Yeah. But his prices are insane, insanely expensive, and he's making people pay for international shipping.
Yeah, that's what you do as a seller. No surprise there.
Yeah, but a lot of my people I buy off of Bricklinks don't use that option.
You have to charge for shipping on Bricklink.
Yeah, but not internationally.
Yes, internationally.
Sure.
Yeah, everyone on Bricklink charges for international shipping.
Because there's an option for two.
If you're not charging for international shipping on Bricklink, then you're not. Then you don't. Then you're not. You. Sorry. Then you don't know exactly what you're doing. You're wasting. You're wasting money if you don't charge for shipping. Has anyone in chat ever heard of a Bricklink seller that when they bought internationally, they did not charge for international shipping? Because I've never heard about that before. The number one country I buy from is Germany, because the German Bricklink sellers are the best in the world. They have so much quantity for such affordable prices, because the Lego distribution in Germany is amazing. And you always pay shipping. On eBay, you have the option to charge for free shipping, but that means your items are normally more expensive. Unless, and if you just absolutely want to get rid of whatever stock you have, then just sell it on your local classifieds instead, or go to Facebook Marketplace, or go to Craigslist or something like that.
Oh, that's why. Because he's in the same country as me, the seller.
Yeah. See, the UK is so small that shipping in the same country isn't all that expensive. But
Yeah.
nationally, you'd be crazy to offer free shipping. And Australia and the US are such big countries, you'd always expect to pay at least $2 for shipping.
Yeah.
So I need
Because
16 of these cork things.
because X Knight was going to send me a crap load of his collection. I was privately DMing him after the stream. He said he would happily send me some of his collection, and the shipping was like £40.
So that's me. Yeah. Yeah, that's because shipping out of the US is more expensive than to ship into the US.
Yeah.
What are people saying? Yeah, some people do downsize. I know that people have sold entire themes that they no longer collect before. Yes, that sounds pretty normal to me. With people who aren't in my country, I use PayPal. Yeah, there's a lot of price advantages for doing business with Lego in Germany. When I build my interplanetary space base, they'll end up doing the same thing. There's no business like smart business like. Yeah, I don't know how to judge. I don't know how to judge that. Britton says, I sell on eBay and I charge normal UK shipping, but for international shipping, I use the global shipping system and the buyer pays them. Exactly. I'm not looking to take anyone to court right now. I'm having a good time, right? I'm having a good time right now. Yeah, that sounds like a normal shipping practice to me. And Chopper's right. The eBay fees are a lot higher than the Bricklink fees, which is why when people say you can make a lot more money on eBay than Bricklink is slightly false. The reason why the price on paper is higher on eBay is because the sellers get charged more of a commission to sell their stuff. I think Bricklink only charges a 2% commission, and eBay charges anywhere from 15 to 25% commission. Okay. So got to get this. There's a small piece. This small piece. I'm going to lay this out on the ground. And I'm going to separate it between if it has these types of holes on the end or no, that's the same type of hole. Or if it has these types of holes on the end.
I've basically said what I want everybody to know. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to let my phone charge.
Yeah, you go do that. Make sure. Because I'm charging my phone right now too.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'll catch you all later.
So yeah, because we're going to wait to Owen's stream after this.
Yeah, so I have to let all my devices charge so I can see the chat, have a perfect setup, make sure everything isn't going to die. So I'll see you all in 1 hour and 27 minutes.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, we're going to put the link for Owen's stream half an hour to go in the stream. Yeah, so we got this piece, and we're going to angle this down so you can see the stuff here.
Yeah, sorry. How do I leave the stream?
There's our leave studio button.
I'm on mobile, so
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not sure.
leave. Yeah, there's leave studio button. Or if you're on the phone, just search for something different in your browser.
Okay.
And once
Yeah.
once you search for something different in your browser, it'll take you out of the studio.
All right. See ya.
Bye. Can you not find it? Well, we're just gonna get. No, he can't. He's fumbling around. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, what's going on? I never understand people who buy stuff and expect that they should get a deal just because the seller got a deal. Yeah, exactly. Like, it makes no sense. You're the customer and they're the seller. I see people reselling stuff on eBay all the time. That's in the stores. I don't think that's true at all. I don't know where that type of law is from, but I have never seen that law in practice. Yeah, that's true. That has some merit behind that kind of philosophy. I am trapped. I'm trapped in between my furniture. I'm not going to hit the red button. Long time no see, Friday Night Bricks. Is that Reed behind the controls? Good to see you, buddy. Luckily, as a seller, we can always say no to the crazy price offers. Exactly. Because, like, I go onto eBay every now and then, and I might find some bulk Lego, and if they have the option to make an offer, sometimes I will lowball them, and if they are a seller that knows what they're doing, they'll set a reserve on the minimum amount that people can offer them for. So, like, I've gone to make a lowball offer on some bulk lots on eBay before, and immediately my offer got rejected because it didn't reach their threshold. So there's a lot of different things you can do on eBay. If he wants to, he's more than happy to reach out. Okay, so we got the pegs in there. That's the first one. And then for these, we have to put them on the outsides. Okay, we have to put them on the outside holes. So I'm going to shift the positions of these pieces. Okay, so we need, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. So, gonna spin this around, and we've got to put these wooden pegs into the outside holes. And some of them, it is a friction fit. And some of them have more friction in them than others. So they might need a little bit of an extra push down to get them into place. And if anyone else has built IKEA furniture before, let me know what your experience was like. Because I've got 9 of the tables and now 2 of the shelves. And I'm pretty sure the side table drawer next to my bed is from IKEA too, but I didn't build it because that's not part of my collection. That's part of my normal furniture. The only IKEA furniture I've ever bought for myself is stuff that I directly use for my Lego collection, which I took the time to invest my money in furniture for my collection once we moved house, and we've moved house twice. So let me put these pegs in, and then I'll see what people are saying. because I don't think I will be able to get these shelves built by the end of the stream, but as soon as I get it done, I'll probably post pictures about it on Instagram. So I'll probably post it in my Instagram stories. And who knows, I might do a Facebook post too. I'm not sure yet. But the links for all of that stuff should be in the description. Okay. And there's that. So we put those 12 pegs in to the shelves. Also, what are people saying? Yeah, there are different people who charge really high prices, and there are some people who are able to charge really low prices. Like the DD Bricks Brickling store is probably my favorite because they sell high quantities at low prices. If it doesn't sell, he will either sit on it or have to dip the price accordingly to sell it. It's usual business practice to test the market. Exactly, because ideally you want to buy low and sell high when you're trying to sell a product. But if the customers aren't buying at the high price, then you gradually decrease the price, but just incrementally until it does start selling. And then you raise the price during inflation or when the cost of goods sold gets more expensive. If they're old Bionicle sets complete with the masks, then they are worth around £40 each, if not more. If they still have the plastic container. If you have the Bionicle set still in the canister, they're more desirable for the Bionicle collectors. I mean, if you want to come on and talk about the economics of running a Bricklink store, I'm fine if we want to talk about that, because I'm seeing a lot of people who do sell on eBay and Bricklink here right now. That would be cool if you decide to do that. That's because you're very philanthropic, Chopper, and I appreciate that. Not sure if they have it out there, but in the States, there's this app called TaskRabbit, and people build IKEA products for you and other things. Yeah, I know. There's a Simpsons episode that the plot was centered around an app similar to that name. I think it was called their app was called Helper Monkey, where you can contract people via an app, kind of like how Uber's replaced taxis. You can contract them via an app instead of paying for a handyman. Yes, hello Zelda. So glad that all of you people are here right now. We're building this shelf. Yeah, and I'm here for that too. Yeah, I'd be glad to send you an invite. Do you want it via Instagram or do you want it via the Discord chat? 3 is an odd number. Have you considered 4 ribs to make it even? T-Mog is giving out financial advice. Be careful, kid. Good way to get a low salt. Ooh. Are them fighting words? Someone might actually realize a thing or two about reselling. Who knows? Seems like we have a decent bunch of heads here for the most part. Four ladies, I call them because a woman is literally just bone fragment. Yeah, at times like this, we can make in these times, one of the best ways to feel better is to try to make lemonade out of lemons, which is what I'm trying to do for the whole month. Okay, I'll send that to you via Instagram. Hello, Dina. So I'll go to Instagram and send T-Mog the invite. He did a premiere video the other day. Perhaps when I get over here, I'll ask him about his premiere, because he also reviewed. Both him and Jane Bricks reviewed one of the new Star Wars battle packs with, I think it's the Death Trooper. It's one of the troopers, and everyone I've talked to about that does not like the build for the dropship. They don't like the build for the dropship, and T-Mog said that in his review, and I thought it was a good review because it was raw and honest feelings, because some of the battle packs builds are really lame. That's why I still think the Clone Wars, the Stormtrooper battle pack from 2008 will always be my favorite of the battle packs. Yeah, there's T-Mog. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to send it. Yeah, and there it is for T-Mog. Okay. Yeah, I mean the reason why I tuned in is because I was scrolling on YouTube and I was seeing if anyone was live at the moment. And the thing with the live, if you're on the YouTube app on the phone, and if you filter it for live streams, premieres also come up as live. So that's how I found that premiere. Yeah, that was not pretty at the end of the stream. Hope you're feeling okay. Because I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I've seen some people choke on water, and it's not a pretty sight. But having a bone injury that affects breathing is not good, and I wouldn't want to wish that on one of my best friends. So we got those pegs in. Now we have to get the side bits and we have to screw in some stuff. Broken ribs are the worst. One is bad enough. Yeah, because I've had problems with my patella. I've had problems with my elbow joints. I've had problems with my wrist. So now I try to keep my elbows more straight and my wrists more straight. And I try not, and instead of bending down with my knee joints, I try to use more of my ankle than what I used to, so I don't have as much problems with my knee any more. Because I've had to experiment with my body to minimize any injury risk. But as the human body gets older, it's not as easy to do that. Okay, so we got one of these. Zelda always lifts with his back. Friends call me Big Back. Yeah, that's what they tell a lot of people. But I had problems with my back, and then I had problems with my knee. And fortunately, I haven't had any problems with my ankle yet. So I've gone from lifting with my back to lifting with my knee. Now I put all the pressure on my ankles. Hello, Frankenfrog. Good to see you here, buddy. We're constructing IKEA furniture so we can have 2 of these bookcases. So we need these screws that have the screw end and the plastic casing on them. So we need 6 for each, and we need to get out the power drill for this. And where do they go in the instructions? So this is the bottom. So it looks like it goes on these inside holes. They say if you stop breathing, you're not getting enough oxygen. Yeah, which is why when I'm watching some NFL games, some people get so out of breath that when they're on the sideline, they have an oxygen mask on their face so that they don't get a punctured lung or something. Let's use the power drill. If we can get this straight. Let's use the power drill. God damn it. No, I need to get myself a little bit of a hole to wedge this in. No. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. No. Oh, damn it. Oh, there's someone back there. It's T-Mog.
Oh my goodness, I'm on a live stream? How the hell did I end up here?
Well, you know how it just happened. It happened like that.
Right on. How you doing, man?
I'm good because this month's going to be a good job for managing the collection and doing odd jobs. How is life selling Lego on Bricklink?
Take it or leave it. You know, it just kind of happens. It's just a never-ending cycle. It is what it is. Yeah. It's clearance season, so you know, scummy reseller got to do what scummy reseller do and take all the $5, $30 sets and go sell them for $10. Because you know, that's just what people do.
Yeah, because that's what all the Bricklink sellers do during clearance season. It's either that, or you do what Bricks on the Dollar does and buy the sets in big quantities straight away, so you can sell all the new pieces at a higher price than because when you sell
It's
stuff,
supply and demand. You know, like.
Yeah.
I think the best example for something like that is going to be that Dream set that people just want for the classic space helmet and oxygen tank. It's only coming in that set. I wouldn't be surprised if I see that piece going for like $20 a piece, at least for the first 3 months.
Yeah,
so.
because what Bricks on the Dollar did is he bought a whole bunch of the UCS Millennium Falcons went on day 1 in 2017.
Right.
And he was able to sell all of the pieces in quantity because people want to buy in quantity, and that has a lot of grey pieces, which Star Wars customers always want grey pieces, so they sold really fast. And the part out value of a new set is always when the part out value is at its peak.
Yeah. Well, it's just supply and demand, you know. It's simply what it is. There's different ways to go about your business. If you want to go about the way that he did, which is buying bulk right off the bat, I mean, that's one way to go about it. It's high risk, but also could be high reward. It's the thing about reselling, you know. It's always wheeling and dealing.
Yeah, because there's either 2 approaches: is you buy everything for the front of the demand, or you buy it when it's on sale to get the back end of the demand.
Hmm.
Because I've seen too many Briggsar videos to know how many people choose the latter option. Because everyone goes after all the clearance, and especially if they're a mock builder, you buy a set that you know that the parts will sell. You take out the pieces for your own mock, you sell the rest, and then the set pays for itself.
Yeah, I've done similar things with like, say there's a set that I just wanted a minifigure from. You know, the figure, if I bought it straight up, would be essentially worth the retail price of the set. So if I just buy the set parted out, I end up paying like the equivalent to $5 for the figure. You know, there's multiple ways of going about it. Not every reseller is the same for how they go about selling things, different perspectives, etc. So.
Yeah, because I think everyone has their own philosophy about what works best for them when they sell something, and especially when you're considering the international market. Some pieces sell for higher amounts of money or for more quantities in other parts of the world because the world is part of geography.
Yeah, I think it also just factors in of just like preference, because I think right now, like we were saying in the chat earlier, it's easier to buy stuff from Germany just because they have quantity and just of whatever you're looking for. So, you know, some people might say, "Oh my goodness, I have to pay $20 shipping for this bulk amount of pieces from the US." But like, if I pay say $40 shipping, oh my goodness, I'm paying $20 more, but like I'm able to get like triple the amounts of quantity of parts.
Yeah.
Just a lot of ways you can go about doing it.
Yeah, because I think my last 10 Bricklink orders have all been from Germany.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much me as well in terms of just orders in general that have the Lego logo on it. It's just no one in the US or Canada seems to have what I'm looking for, which I'm going to tell everyone right now, don't you dare get into Lego trading cards unless you have the money to actually get started on that.
Yeah, Johnny wants you to build Star Wars.
I probably have a few Star Wars in my backlog. I don't want to clear off my desk that much.
Yeah. Nice. Any amount of money you can get from selling helps. Yeah, there's a lot of patience when it comes to investing. Long time no see, cheap ass bricks. Speaking of reselling, probably the most prolific Lego reseller I know. How's the eBay and Bricklink and the private seller business going, cheap ass? And also, hope you had a fantastic time in the UK, because well, I know how good of a time it is because I went there myself in February and I saw Hauling and Bowling where you talked about it. Hello, General Tron. What else?
Every time I hop on Hauling and Balling, I'm always impressed to see whatever cheap ass has to show off. Like, I didn't know there was like Duplo plushies right off the top of my head until he pointed out one time.
Yeah, now it's to the point where the Discovery Centers and Legolands across the world have their exclusive plushies. The market for that is going gangbusters.
Oh yeah, there's a market for anything and everything.
Yeah, I disabled it on my stream yesterday because people were complaining, and I don't really like it either. But I don't know why you can't just disable it for your whole channel. It's dumb.
I'm out of the loop. What's being discussed here?
About the Top Chat XP crap.
Oh, wait, what is YouTube trying to be Twitch now?
I think so.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, Germany and those German and Dutch sellers. I think out of the 4 dozen or so Bricklinks orders I've ever placed, I want to say 6 of them have been from Dutch sellers. The market for Lego trading cards is getting more popular because Pokemon is the talk of the town.
Seen a lot of speculation on what people want out of Pokemon. I've been researching Pokemon as a whole, trying to anticipate how big of a lineup there's going to be on the first just for Pokemon stuff for the Lego store.
Hello,
That's crazy.
P23. Good to see you in one of my chats finally. Welcome. Yeah, because Alan puts the cheap in CAB. Yeah, it's a weird system. I don't know how it works. Oh, you're just selling at conventions now. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be eating cardboard either. Exactly. I wasn't trying to do it either on some other people's streams, and it just happened. It's a weird thing. Yeah. Or it seems like all the Lego lands are getting exclusive plushies right now.
I'm not going to look into Legoland plushies till they start putting out more Ninjago plushes. I don't need another thing to collect.
Yeah, it is lame, Chub, but I agree. I complain about it on other people's streams.
Hey, Clever, how's it going?
Is ACOB here right now? I do the same in general. Hello, YOLO X. I think the Pokemon is going to be Game Boy for the anniversary next year. Like a Pokemon game. Britain still has a couple complete sets of first edition Pokemon base set cards and Team Rocket and Fossil. I know nothing about Pokemon, so if anyone does, I'd be happy to learn more about it.
Every time I feel like I'm scratching the surface on that topic without having to buy anything, I feel like I there's more layers to it, and it's just it's so dumb how out of proportion it's been blown, in my opinion. Like, at its core, it's just a bunch of pieces of cardboard with some ink on it, you know, that people say has value. Like, it's like just like with any currency, I guess. But the fact that people can sell a trading card that for the equivalent of a house just because it's a specific card with ink on it in a specific manner, it's like, that's crazy. Again, to be fair, I'm the idiot over here who like has bought some really dumb shit. So I don't know. Everyone buys whatever they want. It's just up to whoever to decide if it's worth that money or not, I guess.
Yeah, because weren't you one of the people that bought that rare fig that comes with those acrylic cases? Or maybe that's someone else. Hello, Pig. Good to see you here, buddy. Yeah,
it's hot in Calgary. Pig, it's hot. Go figure. It's summer.
Yeah, and it's winter here, and I still put my fan on. Yeah, so say what you want about that. A lot of money to be made in Pokemon cards. I'm not in the plushies market either. Yeah, the weather got super cold, but I know my friends in North America and UK are sweltering right now. That means you're good at speculating in the market.
Oh, General Ton, 100%. 100%. I mean, yeah, sure, I got like 5 binders full of stuff, but like, I don't care to know how much I've spent on it at this point. I just know that, hey, it's cool to look at every once in a blue moon, and it's something unique. It's not something everyone talks about with the Lego trading cards. I like my niche stuff like that.
Yeah, which is why not many people know about it, so there's not as many people selling it.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know there were Batman cards. Sports trading cards
for everything. Like, literally, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said that there's a grocery trading card game with just like things of milk on the card or whatever.
Yeah. Well, sports cards are just insane right now because the Michael Jordan rookie card a couple years ago went for half of $1 million, and the Paul Skeens rookie card, I think this year went for $2 million.
from what I understand, for cards like that, it all based on demand, supply, and just I think that's with everything, supply and demand. But from what I've understood, they purposely make something rare like that, so that of course then it's a hunt. I'm glad Lego for the most part doesn't really do that. I know they used to basically with the CMFs. They've since kind of made it generally easier to obtain a full set of figures, but I know in the earlier days they actually did have rarities for the figures in a full case.
There's so many messages right now. Thank you so much, everybody. I don't know either. It's so confusing. I started doing the same thing when I was living on my couch. Britain says the highest I sold a trading card for was £150. It was Darth Vader card from the Decipher's Death Star 2 cards. He was only available in a case of cards. You got 6 booster packs. No, you got 6 booster pack boxes in a case. And
Wow.
then Reed says a low log makes trading cards for their Nebraska Days shows each year of members mocks. Oh, nice. That's nice little recognition of people in the lug. Yeah, there's a lot of Bionicle products that are skyrocketed in price. Same with Pokemon cards, and everyone's trying to get those. Everyone's trying to get out in front to boost their inventory. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff with trading cards right now.
I do like that Lego's still acknowledging Galador. Because with the most recent Minecraft wave, there's a Galador minifigure, in case anyone didn't know. It's the Enderman Tower, whatever, something like that. I don't know if it's released yet or not, but man, every time somebody hits me with a Galador, it basically tells me to a degree how deep their knowledge goes, and I just respect, you know?
Yeah, because like I know as much about Galador as what Briggs are or Just Too Good knows about Galador.
Yeah. Gotta love the niche stuff.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna screw in that other stuff. Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, because you did that review about was it the death Trooper
Oh yeah,
battle?
the Death Trooper zombie battle pack. I bought that just for the sake of I liked the look of the figs. The price is a whole nother thing. I mean, I'm at this point where, with Lego Star Wars, you hear all people complaining and praising, and I'm just in the corner over here, just wanting to buy a battle pack. I know what to expect out of Lego for a battle pack. It doesn't change the fact that it still feels half-assed for something like that. Like, as someone who just considers themselves a casual Star Wars fan, who bought it, yes, just for the figs, for the meat and bones of the set, supposedly, of the builds, it's such a letdown. Like, I have so much trouble grasping from the mindset of a kid how they can get enjoyment with their imagination. Maybe I'm just not creative, I guess, but I just having a minifigure just stand with no attachments to hold them into place kind of bugged me the most about that set.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit out of breath. And
Agreed,
some people are saying some really good things right now. Trying to come up with thoughts on the spot for what people are saying.
Toasty.
Yes, well, that's because one piece of content can't change everything. That is a very good philosophical question. I'm not a minifigure collector. So yes, what is a minifigure? People have
It
their
is
own.
whatever you deem it as.
Yeah.
So, for example, I see this as a minifigure.
Yeah. Well, it's either eye of the beholder, or you have to use your imagination. Well, to a giant, we would be considered a minifigure. Britain agrees with you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm almost kind of do I even bother giving my 2 cents on the build? Because Lego's obviously at a point now where they feel like they say they want to take fan feedback, and they're just not, as for the grand scheme of things, as far as I'm concerned. I think the biggest wake-up call they can ever receive is if they start losing profits, and I'm meaning at a large rate, like enough to the point where, you know, they have to start releasing actual Bionicle sets again because they're hurting that much because of their financial decisions. And it's just like every day I hop on the internet and I see some other bullshit that Lego's doing, you know, and it's just making me shake my head more and more. Like, I think this year, and I think a lot of other people can probably agree with this, there is less I'm willing to pay a full retail for this year than any other year. I have more on my waiting for a sale list than I do the okay, full price is fine list, because that's just how I sort things. And it's just like, it's nuts. And I've seen so many theories as to why they're upping the prices the way they are. Only Lego knows for sure what they're doing and why they're doing it. We can only speculate, but all I know we can do as a collective, don't buy into it. I know it's a big ask for the whole community to do, but like, vote with your wallets. It's the ultimate, and that even applies to reselling too. You know, like, plain and simply, you pissed off about someone's prices, don't shop there. Oh, but it's a thing I really want. Okay. Lego produces thousands and upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of copies of sets. You'll find another opportunity, maybe even a better one, you know? I know at Brickworld Chicago, it's a block party. They have the biggest fucking space at Brickworld for selling stuff, and no one fucking agrees with their prices, unless by some fluke you might have some brain developmental issues, which whatever. I bought like one thing for them my first year in Chicago, and then I haven't bought for them since, because as someone who uses Bricklink and eBay frequently, I realize, you know, I'd rather give someone else my business. Like, despite the fact how hard it is to find, it's just less hassle that way than just continue to promote with my wallet, that type of behavior.
Well, I think Lego has started to think about more, started to care for the minifigs better, because you notice almost all of the modulars come with a toilet or a bathroom now. Yeah, I try to vote with my wallet. There are things that Lego does that I don't like. Like, I don't like what they're doing with the Bricklink Designer program, so I'm not going to buy any of the BDP sets.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are already like, I've been seeing a decline already and stuff. Like, I remember hearing videos about like Bricklink Designer sets sold out in less than 24 hours, and now when a new wave of designer sets come out, I'll hear like only one set sold out in 24 hours, and it's like the cheapest one, and all the expensive. Like, I haven't paid that much attention to Bricklink Designer projects. I'm sure most of them are great. I feel like, and this is gonna come as a bit controversial, but I mean, I'm in a mood right now where I just don't care. I feel like resellers kind of ruin the Bricklink Designer program. You know, you got all these people forking out like thousands of dollars to have like 5 copies, just that, you know, sure, do the reselling thing. But now everyone's like, I'm not, it was already expensive enough as it is. And now if I want it, I got to go pay the reseller. And it's like how everything plays out, you know, supply versus demand. Demand's gone down because the supply is just so high, you know?
Yeah, because I'm at the point where almost every Lego release season, it's like every Lego release season, I either want none of the sets or I only want one of the sets.
How much does Buttshop? How much does that subscription service cost you to do?
Yeah, YOLO says Bricklink Designer sets literally get voted on by people's wallets. That's a good point. Now, I mean, I could go get my Blacktron set right now, but it's underneath a whole bunch of junk. I kind of do the same thing, Johnny. I kind of do the same thing. Yeah, because like I remember when you used to do the videos talking about the new gift with purchases. That was when there weren't as many. Well, that was when Lego wasn't doing as many gift with purchases. Now they do one like every month.
Well, anybody can throw two pieces of bricks together and call it a themed gift with purchase. That's just Lego's trying to get FOMO, and I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I could spend the $210 to get the Space Baby, or I can just say screw it and pay the $50-$60 plus shipping Canadian to just get the set outright. Because, like, again, I can only fork out my heart and soul, maybe my liver, so often on a regular basis, you know?
Yeah, because like there's like the amount of sets, or the percentage of sets that are coming out that I want to buy has gotten so low. I don't even buy sets during the double in VIP Insiders loyalty points anymore. I wait until there's a vintage gift with purchase because I'm an A-full, or there's a contemporary gift with purchase and the double points. Because there's just not a lot out there that I care about.
I do like that they're getting more attention to the Insiders program. I just don't like how they're pricing everything, which, again, go figure. Lego fan doesn't like pricing. Oh, no.
And I actually spoke to, well, I have a running joke now with one of my Star Wars bros that has confessed he's going to buy Star Wars no matter what, even how bad it is. He confessed that he's a sucker.
Yeah, but there's a point where you have to realize, forking out $200 for a singular brick, which is what Lego's doing at this rate, you just can't be doing that shit, man. Like, it's not financially stable. I mean, nothing with Lego is financially stable, but like, you have to have a stopping point. Like, I get appreciating the hobby and being a fan of something, but you got to take a step back sooner or later and say, look, man, this is a bit much,
And that's why people started buying more of the Funhole / Lumi bricks, and some of the military people switched to Kobe, and some people switched to Pantasing. And it was all because they had aggressive marketing campaigns which worked.
Marketing campaigns? Lego has marketing campaigns?
No,
Man! Sorry, my bad.
Lego's competitors, and it worked.
Lego has competitors?
Lego has competitors? This must be 2001. They don't have competitors.
Well, I mean, look at how they're acting,
Well, I know that my robot girlfriend is
for real.
No. Yes, well, the back seat.
Yeah, I haven't even heard about them.
I know that Chopper will remember this. The backlog used to be called the pile of shame because it was shameful to have too much Lego. Now everyone has too much.
Oh, right. I've seen a few people talk about this.
Britton says, I've been tempted to get some sets, but that doesn't happen very often. Buying parts is the way to go for me. Exactly, because I'm a mock.
Dusty Butchop, you make great points.
Yeah.
I need to learn to preach what follow what I preach more often. Words, whatever.
Yeah, because I know, I bought the Arctic train yesterday. No, sorry, I bought the Arctic train last week.
That's the one with the Arctic foxes, right?
Yeah, and there's a neoclassic version of Johnny Thunder in there. But that's the only city set on the market I care about right now.
See, I haven't even touched City since last year, I think, with the whole space sets. They knocked it out of the park with the space stuff last year. I think it was last year. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't pay attention to City that much. It's just not for me.
That's exactly what you did, YOLO, which is why you uploaded that room tour the other day. Yeah, they are going to only gain more of the market, in my opinion.
I've never heard about Lumi bricks. I'm having a look at their website, and I'm looking at I go based off the eye test. I know there's some believers out there in the price per piece stuff, which You do you, pal. I don't agree with that stuff no more. Not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm doing what I call the eye test, and like I'm looking at it and like, hey, these are great builds, and then I look at the price tag, expecting to see like I don't know 300 Canadian, because again, that's what this Legos beat me into submission and into thinking a set like that could be worth, and I see the price tag of like 137 for like a lakeside lodge, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is Lego doing?
Yeah, well, because Lumi bricks used to be called Fun Hole.
Huh. Well, I think
Kind
I'd
of
have
like-
more fun at Lumi bricks with those prices.
Yeah, kind of like how Mold King used to be called Leppen until Lego took them to court.
Oh,
And Lego won that court case in China because Lego has a factory in China, and the Chinese courts, they are less biased to Western companies if a Western company has a factory in China.
Lego is the kind of person that, like, regardless how wrong they are, they're still gonna win because they just have the bigger pocketbook. So,
And you know they have a bigger pocketbook when 25 years ago they patented numbers on bags.
interesting.
Yeah, John Brick spoke about it when he reviewed one of the Mega Block
Real
sets.
YOLO. They really are.
When he reviewed one of the Mega Block sets from 1998.
Panda Express. You make me laugh, Butt Chop.
He's a funny guy, yeah.
Yes, he is.
That's why he's one of the best people in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, see, I was wondering about that, Britt. It looked like they were lit up, and like I don't know, man. So that's cool. If they include a light kit, I see much more value in that. You know, like
I
these
think
sets look beautiful. I don't know if I'm at the point where like I'm gonna fork out some money for it because I'm still having my chain jerked from Lego, but like they do look nice. I'll give them that.
The majority of their sets come with a light kit.
Yeah, no, it's so obvious the way Lego's cutting corners, and no real amount of bitching on the internet is going to change it. Again, your wallets. I'm sure like anyone can talk about like how bad it is, but unless we actually band together and stand for a cause, then nothing's going to happen.
I'm contorting my body so much right now. There we go.
All right, fellow Lego sympathizers. We got Prime Day coming up in 6 days. Who's got their wallets and credit cards ready to give away to the suspicious companies in exchange for $5 Lego sets? But Lego, not yeah. No, I think competition's healthy for a company.
Hopefully, Lego learns the lesson from what their competitors are doing right now.
Oh, I truly feel Lego hasn't had any genuine competition since like I don't know 2010s when they had Mega Blocks going
And
for them.
Creo were making the Transformers. Connects had branched out into some brick systems.
I've tried researching into the Creo stuff, and I think Mega was the competitor. Like, yeah, Creo sure threw in an extra curveball, but like it was Lego versus Mega. I remember that. Lego has such a chokehold on the market right now. They need some healthy competition.
Well, it was that in that time, Mega Blocks changed their name to Mega Constructs.
Yeah, I never really researched into why that was, other than just for the sake of rebranding, but it is what it is.
I think
Lego
because
bought up all the licenses. Now Mega Constructs just has nothing well known to work with, and I don't want anyone coming at me saying, "What about Halo?" Because that's all they're known for nowadays. When you think Mega Constructs, they lost Pokemon. You know
yeah.
what else do they have?
So Pig just admitted that he's a Chinese sympathizer for the dim sum slaps. Pew pew pew. I don't know what a carpeted shower is. There is too much of it. Witten says, I would say Panacea would be a danger to the Lego group too, but I think they are a tad smaller than Lubricks. Yeah, they have slightly less of a percentage of the market right now. I only buy from Amazon when any of the department stores don't price match with Amazon.
I mean, I kind of get why. You know, like I have like just a few items in my cart, just because Amazon, every time I refresh the page, it tells me if an item's gone up or down in price. I've had the same item go up and down in price in the span of a week. Like every day, it was like up, down, up, down, up, down. And I was like, what am I watching? The fucking stock markets out here? Like it was just like for a video game that I had in my cart that it was doing this for, and I'm like, what is going on? So
yeah, so I'm just using the power drill to drill in some of these to drill in some of these screws right now. Yeah. I mean, you just got to come up with a good product and learn from Lego's mistakes. You might get some customers.
what was it? Was it it wasn't Hasbro. Was it? No, Mattel. They're doing brick company stuff now, aren't they? Or is that still Mega? What do I know? I don't pay much attention other than my great overlord Lego has to offer.
I try not to buy.
I'm gonna fucking swear unless I get kicked out. I'm trying to be.
I try not to buy licensed anymore. I've already had a big breakfast, so I'm gonna have a quiet lunch.
Hot Wheels. Yeah, I remember the Hot Wheels kits. I haven't looked at those yet.
On the internet, I like free speech.
I'll try not to abuse mine then.
I have never drunk tea because I don't like tea or coffee. Yes, because they changed their name to the Mattel bricks. So that's their fourth change, and they've been doing a lot of stuff with Hot Wheels. Because there was that episode of London Calling where they talked about that new Mattel Bricks Blue Hot Wheels car that's buildable. Sorry. Well, the reason why it's taking me longer than what I would have wanted to, because that means I'm having more fun because you guys are so much fun. Hello, Grumpy J. I am definitely not grumpy today, but we're glad that you're here. It is cool because I'll tell you how cool it is if I can find it. Fucking find it.
Fucking hell, that was hard to open.
I mean, I could very much make a video calling me that because I was brutal opening it. Okay, so we got those screws. What's the next step? Screw that in. Okay, now I have to connect some of this shit. I'm gonna connect all of that shit after this stream, because that's gonna require me to clean up some of this stuff, and that won't make for good viewing. So, is there anything you want to talk about for the last half hour?
I'm just going with the flow, man. I'm having good times. I mean, I came on here to kind of bitch about people who think that reselling is bad for the sake of reselling, but it's just here I am, just kind of vibing.
Yeah, just a vibe.
Hey,
just
hi.
a chill stream. Something I wanted to run by you is that with the way that with the Bricklink Designer Program sets, um, I don't like the program, but I like talking about it. I don't.
I don't pay enough attention. I know it's crowdfunding, and supposedly they're redoing sets that were canceled idea sets, which at its core sounds great, I guess, if someone really wanted something that's like non-licensed that looked good that didn't meet ideas criteria for whatever reason. I just the drama behind it, I don't pay too much attention to because all I got to do is peer into it, see what's going on. I can form enough of an opinion based off that alone. I feel.
Yeah, because I just wanted to run something by a reseller. There's an interesting dynamic that happens. So some of the less popular sets from that program, and also because the AFOL designer program on Bricklink, which was the predecessor to the Bricklink designer program, that was kind of the prototype. And those sets sold even less quantities because it was the prototype. And now those sets are really expensive. And people who sold that made a lot of money. Some of them made 4 times the value of what they paid for it.
Yeah,
And
anything that's like first edition, prototype, whatever. Like, if it's based on something popular, of course it's going to be like guaranteed money. Like that. It just from what I've researched and consumed my head full of useless knowledge about, that just is the running thing with prototypes, first editions, etc. So if that's the case with those Bricklink Designer Program sets, it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Because again, if there's a market for it and there's demand, and there's only like say 5 of those, like literally anything, like it all boils down to the whole supply versus demand thing. That's all anything ever boils down to. Like, oh my goodness, there's new Clone Troopers coming out. I'm like, I'm gonna love seeing people bitch about how they can't find that set on store shelves, but also we got people bitching about the price. Whatever. It's a never-ending cycle. As someone who is a reseller that sees all this shit go down, and I'm just like, I just stick to my corner. I stick to my corner, and I just do what I feel makes me the most entertained.
yeah, and so the series 1 of the Bricklink Designer Program, all of a sudden those sets only sell for 3 times what people paid. And now that everyone knows when to buy Bricklink Designer,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Why resellers basically kind of ruin the Bricklink Designer Program. Like,
Yeah.
not to say that like everyone should be buying like fucking 5 copies of the same Bricklink Designer Program to reinvest. It's just simply like the whole market has decided that paying 2 times the amount for something that already was like $500, like paying $1,000 for a Bricklink Designer set, it's just not that cool enough. Like that's it all just factors into like, again, what do the people think of it? It's an officially produced by Lego fan set. That's all it really is. And people were mainly buying it because they liked the idea of like, this is a way to get a copy of the model of an idea set that didn't get turned into an idea set. And then the resellers came in, kind of were like, hey, we're gonna because there's a demand there. Now there's no demand. Now people who are actually wanting this stuff can actually still buy this stuff, and the resellers have not seen the money.
Yeah. And so now I bet when people go to resell the series that is currently, or that is or that's up for sale next, or if it's, I don't even know what the dates are, if there's one running right now. Whatever the current series is, people will only people will only be selling that for 2 times what they paid because of the supply and demand. Let's see what people in chat saying.
That's a good question, Britt. See, and the thing is, like, I never can officially keep a straight line on what the difference is between the two. Because, again, every person that flips something has different motivations. So it's, to me at least, hard to define black and white definition for resellers versus scalpers outside of, like, okay, probably the easiest example I can try and come up with regarding this is, the people who buy, like, say, for example, there's like 100 Bricklink designer projects that can be made for the one type of set, and some asshole buys like 30 copies just to resell. That would be an example in my book is scalping. But if they're buying, like, I don't know, let's say 3 copies, then bordering between scalper and reseller, leaning more towards reseller, because maybe they're just wanting a copy to have built, have sealed, or maybe they're just buying it all to flip. Again, it kind of depends on the context of the person who is selling it, I feel. I don't know.
Yeah, also,
It's a very mind-bending definition, to me at least, because it's not as black and white as some people make it, to me at least.
Yeah, there's so much flying by. I'm going to try pick out more of the comments that have to do with the buying and selling or Bricklink designer. That's
what I'm saying, Pig. Yeah,
that's an interesting way to put it. I did see someone in the chat earlier that had a different icon, so I know that they're new. Let's see where they were. There's just so much going by, so much interesting stuff to read. There's no Panda Expresses in my company. My country. I'm still charging my phone. Here we are. There's always pressure to be applied in the market. I don't go looking for all of the crazy deals, but I know a lot of my friends do because they're still set collectors. What else? Hello, Brickhive. Good to see you here, buddy. You accidentally scheduled a Pure Rant Fury for the wrong time yesterday. I think some people got confused. But it's good to see you here, buddy. And because we got a bee here, we need to do this for our bean friends.
Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all. I wouldn't care if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck.
What's the buzz?
Yeah, that's me almost every day. I'm not doing an odd job. Yeah, I wasn't gonna wake you up with a DM.
Hive, you had everyone so excited. 2 Hive Rant Furious in a week. Man, we were looking forward to eating so well.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a good rant on Saturday.
Yeah, I look forward to his streams. They're fun when I'm able to catch them.
Yeah, and if anyone has a rant, has something they want me to rant about right now, I'll suggest anything that you think might equally piss me off. I'm not sure about that. Lego does make a lot of people have bad emotions, including me. I remember back in December, there was about 3 days where I sorted nothing but 1x1s. Yes, Zelda likes the medieval.
I haven't gone to an IKEA in a hot minute. I don't even know, I know what they sell. I don't have any concept of what their pricing is like. Guess that's what the internet's for.
Everyone who's in Florida, you can go see Grumpy J at the Tampa show. Supply and Command. What's supply and command?
Supply and words of what I've been repeating myself on saying. Supply and demand. That's just generally how I have it in my head, like anything. It's just supply versus demand.
Yeah, there's a lot more conventions than there used to be.
Yeah, it kind of gets hard to figure out what is worth going to. I just go based on where are your friends at? That's where you need to go. So majority of my like American friends, they're always going to Chicago, so I just go to Chicago. You know, I can't afford to fork out like, I don't know. Let's say a trip to the U.S. for me is like $2,000. You know, I don't have $2,000 at the moment to just fork out every month, at least in the traditional sense, like that. Every time I say something like expensive, I keep thinking back on like the stupid shit I bought.
Yeah, because I'll be doing my part to spread the word about the 72-hour stream. And that's why you get people like me who watch your streams and your videos. Oh yes, well I'll rant about IKEA. Yes, let me do that.
This one is running!
Rotten eggs!
It's rant time. Okay, something that really honestly pisses me off about IKEA is why did they change the recipe for the Swedish meatballs?
Did they change it for the better?
No, it got worse. I was in IKEA about it was probably when I was in 11th grade in high school, and I was buying some furniture, and we go to the cafeteria and we order a dozen of the Swedish meatballs like we always do, but half a dozen each between two people. And all of a sudden, they don't taste the same, even with their really good gravy. They don't taste the same. They changed the recipe. And that made me really mad because they were my favorite meatballs in the world.
See,
they changed the recipe, and now I don't like it. So now I don't even bother eating at IKEA anymore because it's just not worth it. They really.
When you say that, I think of like, okay, what is IKEA's reasoning for that? And I think of like, again, I don't know. I'm just going based off what I'm hearing right now and just where my head goes. My head instantly goes to like, okay, maybe for some reason they had to change the recipe because of the way that, you know, they were bringing in the meat. Just wasn't as cost effective, so they had to look at an alternative, and maybe there's some other different sauce now because of that, because they had to look at alternatives. I don't know. I know it all boils down to like outsourcing for their resources, having to figure out what works best for them for all their locations, etc.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure the recipe is different across the world, but they're just not the same here anymore. So that made me really angry when it happened. That's about the only.
There's a reason why I don't listen to streams with headphones anymore. Like, I I always have my laptop on like medium volume, and that just tells me enough if the stream is too loud or not.
Yeah, so like that's the only bad thing I can say about IKEA really. I don't know what the dime cheesecake is. I don't think I've had that. I don't think I've had that before.
Prices and quality. I mean, yes, that's a good argument too. But I feel like that also makes me want to bring up the whole like price per piece argument. Everyone says like, oh, if a set doesn't average at 2 cents per piece, I'm sorry, the most recent example I can think of why price per piece is such bullshit. Look at the vending machine. Look at how many new types of pieces. Now, yes, Lego is taking absolutely their cut on upcharging. But saying that if everything has to average out on the same amount of price doesn't make sense to me as someone who is a scummy reseller on the internet here. You know, I part out a set and I see pieces that are worth like 30 cents or 2 cents. Prices vary for different pieces. Yes, depending on the set and the color of the piece, they can average out at like 1 or 2 cents a piece. But I'll tell you something, as someone who's sold on Brickling for like 2 years, those pieces are normally because they have been used so many times in that color. So there's a lot of supply of that color. So therefore it has no value. For something like the vending machine, where it's got like those new glass pieces, I wouldn't be surprised if I go on Bricklink and they're worth like $2 a piece. Because it's a new mold. It's the first time it's being used. So, you know, if you want to use it for your mocks, you can only get it from that set to part out. So, you know, Lego's factoring in the fact that it costs them money to make a new mold. And they have to factor that into their budget because apparently they have a budget every year that they have to try and adhere to when producing sets. So, that just in a nutshell, my argument for why when someone looks at a set and they look at me like, oh man, the price per piece on that is shit. And I'm like, so you're telling me this chunky ass piece that's really big, I don't know. Oh, sorry, my bad. I went on a whole nother tangent thinking that you were talking about Lego. My bad, Britt. But anywho, that's my 2 cents on the matter that I thought we were discussing. As for IKEA, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at their site and like again, maybe Lego's blinded me, but like I'm looking at like $90 for like a regular tall shelf or whatever, and I'm like, that's not horrible. Again, could you DIY it yourself for cheaper? Probably. I'm not a handyman like that, but I have enough knowledge in the world to know that it always can be cheaper if you produce it yourself. That's why companies exist, is the lazy man's route of doing something,
Yeah, because what I notice in the time that I've been buying IKEA furniture for my collection is that IKEA have slowly shrunk their price, which means that's good.
Well, the thing is there's different wood quality types. So are they changing what kind of wood they use?
I think the wood is the same for what I've been buying. I think the maximum pieces a CMF has ever come with is like 8. So at the minimum, it's 50 cents per piece. I think the minimum amount of pieces a CMF comes with is 5. So at the max, probably 80 cents.
Bare minimum, every CMF has come with head, torso, legs, a hairpiece, and an accessory, and then the stand. For $6. Yes, you could buy a poly bag with that kind of money. With CMFs on the mindset of, does every minifigure, prints are regardless. Prints cost Lego nothing as far as I'm concerned with CMFs. It's a requirement as far as I'm concerned. I want the highest amount of detail possible. If you're going to be charging the equivalent of a poly bag for one minifigure, are they actually going to do that all the time? No. But where I actually care about CMFs in terms of the budget for Lego designers to make it worthwhile as me as a consumer, I'm looking for a new mold. I really am. I want at least one new mold per figure, at the very least. Because again, I expect at least arm printing for majority of their figures, high details whatsoever. So,
yeah,
just one new mold is my baseline expectation for CMFs.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go get the link for Owen's Alien Conquest stream, and we're going to end this stream in 12 minutes. So you guys can go right on over there when I'm done. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now, and then I'll put it in again 10 minutes later. And I think we gained a subscriber. So to whoever who that was, thank you very much. If they were public, then I'll see it in my notifications, and I'll give them a shout out. What else are people saying? I don't know who Prince is. I know who Prince used to be. Something's not quite right here.
Oh yeah, it absolutely costs Lego something to print a minifigure, but in terms of the detail of the printing, like the front and back of a minifigure and the front of the head of a minifigure, like they're already doing it. They factor that cost already, but something like arm or leg printing, that's something extra. They got to have warehouse space for that because it's holding up inventory. Dog, they're making these pieces, they're printing them, and then they're putting them in the mystery boxes to be sent out. Like, I don't fully understand that argument either. Anywho,
there's a lot of straw man arguments people make in the Lego community.
Oh yeah. I know that my opinion is just 2 cents, and I always keep in mind that everyone's opinion is different. Am I going to agree with everyone's? No, but this is just how I see the world, and I just share what I can as respectfully for the most part as I can. But I may let some things tickle someone's fancy a little more than extra. Dual molded parts should be the new norm. I every time I see a minifigure that should have had dual molded legs, it's just cost cutting measure, whoop-de fucking do.
Yes, because Owen is building stuff with Alien Conquest. He's making mocks about Alien Conquest. The reason I did this pop-up stream today, Zelda, I was going to do it tomorrow, but I did it instead because Cliff let us know that he's in the hospital, so I hope he's getting the medical treatment that he needs right now. Yeah, it all adds up in the end.
Hey man, if it don't land you in jail, I mean, what harm is it really?
Yeah. I think I'm the same about that, butt chop. Anyway, so you can go raid Owen in 10 minutes. Yeah, because I feel like I'm probably only a third way constructing this shelf. This will be a day long project, and I'm gonna watch other streams and other podcasts afterwards. So you did because I know that you've over the past couple months you've done a few Sunday streams, haven't you? So it seems like any time I see you live, it's normally on either a Sunday or a Saturday night.
Sorry, I zoned out. Was that question at me? I'm being honest here.
Yeah, it seems like every time I
Oh,
see
sorry,
you
my bad.
live
I
on-
just completely zoned out randomly. I'm so sorry. No, I'm at the point where I'm streaming randomly. It's just whenever I feel like it. So
you're also just doing pop-up streams now.
yeah, I try and give at least somewhat of a few hours notice, promotion, that kind of thing. Just because I know some people, they like to be like, oh, he's gonna do a stream later. I want to tune in for that. It's whatever. I don't think like just going on a whim without any heads up does well in the long run. So like a few hours heads up helps in the long run. But again, every audience is different.
Yeah, because I'm at the point, I don't go back to grad school until the end of July, and I've got so much maintenance to do, so much organization to do, so much building to do. So I'd rather experience that with my friends on the internet. So have my regularly scheduled streams, and if I feel like do a pop-up stream.
Yeah, I hear that. It can be fun with friends.
Yeah. Because it's either I have the energy where I'll do that, or I won't have the energy, so I'll just listen to someone else's stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because like StreamYard has made it easier for so many people.
Yeah. Having guests is cool.
Yeah.
I know I
and
don't really have guests on mine. That's just strictly because I'm just here for vibes, Like, I mean, I'm not that much of a social butterfly where I get to know every single person. But like, hey, if I know you enough as it is and I vibe with you, doors always open to hop into my stream, kind of thing.
Well, that
Where
is
I was going with
definitely
that, but yeah.
that's definitely true for American hospitals. I'm glad that in my country you have the right to choose between public or private health. That's just me. There are some people, or there are some countries where it's all public, other countries where it's all private, and we're a hybrid model. Yeah. So
Thanks, Britt. Yeah, happy to hop in anytime. Give my controversial opinions.
yeah,
I think
well,
it'd be more interesting to get someone in here who is of the opposing mindset. See how off the rails that can go.
yeah. See the kind of vibes we had on this stream compared to other pop-up streams I'll do for the rest of the month is why I like to do my weekly stuff with people, because that creates good chemistry. However, if it's just a pop-up stream, that's because I want to do something right there, right now. Like the old Fat Boy Slim song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently Chopper is a compass. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not sure what kind of stuff that you're doing right now.
I
in
wish
your-
I knew. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just here. I'm existing. I'm just one
Yeah.
autistic dude in Canada who's just riding the waves.
Yeah, because I've got some people. Whoa. There's Owen just let himself in.
Yeah, sorry. Hello. Where shall I put the link for my stream?
I do that myself.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, because I already put out the message 4 minutes ago.
Okay.
I can manage that stuff all myself. But if you want to be in this studio until you hit the go live button, you're more the merrier.
Alright, sure. Because I got my camera and everything set up, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're gonna be live for another 5 minutes. So where can we find you, T-Mog?
I'm everywhere on the internet, it feels like. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, actually, if you want to care for some non-Lego content. I've been streaming some video games lately in my free time. Discord. Like I said, I feel like I'm everywhere on the internet. Just look up my username. You'll probably find something regarding me.
And where can we find you, Owen?
YouTube, Instagram, Discord. Yeah, that's it. And it's all linked on my live streams using Nightbot, so pretty easy to find.
Yeah, because some people might know Owen from Brick Therapy and other people's streams.
Hello, Franken Frog.
Yeah,
With it?
T-Mog does sometimes stream on Twitch.
YouTube is, I guess, where I'm most well known, I guess. Butt Chop, I will sick my little Pomchi Ahsoka on you. She may be tiny, but she is mighty. She'll give you cuddles.
Yeah. So so I will let you go hit your go live. I'll let you go hit the go live button, Owen.
Okie dokie. I have to join on this phone because my cameras, everything is set up, and I don't want to interfere with moving it.
Yeah.
I'll see you later. See you later, T-Mog 217.
Take care, Owen.
Yeah, have a good day, man.
You too.
Exactly. That's why I'm waiting because and also
Oh.
I told
Xbox.
Owen I told Owen to start 2 minutes earlier than I told him to start at 1:58 a.m. so that he's live when my credits are rolling. Yeah, I only own the Wii. That's my only console.
I haven't touched my Wii U in a hot minute. I need to show it some love sometime because I bought a Wii game a few months ago that I need to show some love to my Wii U. It hasn't been shown some love in a hot second.
Yeah.
I've been cheating on it with my Xbox.
I'll say one thing about sports because T-Mog is here. I felt bad for my friends in Edmonton during the Stanley Cup.
I'm not. Screw Edmonton, man. I'm fucking happy Florida won that shit. It's hilarious. I can't wait. Next time I have an Edmonton game, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you lost the Stanley Cup twice in a row to the same team. Oh no!
Yeah, spoken like a true Calgary Flames fan, just like Matt.
I work for the Flames, man, and it's just never gonna see me cheering for the Oilers unless it's like as a joke, you know, like no fucking way in a million years.
Yeah, and once again, the President's Trophy winner didn't even get to the conference finals. The Winnipeg Jets.
Pig, I've been mainly going on a bit of a horror run, so I've been mainly playing Dead by Daylight. However, I do have in my library Dead Space I've been meaning to pop in. Maybe I'll start that tonight. We'll see. Just kind of see how that goes, but I have quite the library, and I'll be probably posting on Instagram how bad that has gotten. So, yeah.
Actually, it means more than you might think, because I'm pretty sure that world sports is now valued at $1 trillion. And with the way that there are reports that pretty soon there'll be NBA players earning $100 million a year because their salary cap's going up, I'm pretty sure world sports is valued at $1 trillion right now. Anyway,
Johnny, it's a remake version, but I do have the original 2 and 3 that I bought. Sorry, I didn't mean to. let's talk over you. What were you saying?
Yeah, because we're gonna end this stream now because it's time.
Oh, no
Anyway,
worries.
thanks for watching this stream. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. You can go and use this link to go watch Owen's stream. He's doing something about Alien Conquest. So we'll see you on the next live stream, which will probably be episode 2 of Brick Talk. And I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for having me
watching.
on. Have a great
No
day, everyone.
problem. No problem. Thank you, T-Mod. Thank you for watching.